Hey ho, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Math It Up. Today we're going to go over assignment number 4, decimal and place value. And before we get started, I'd like to remind you that this is my YouTube channel. You're here. You can find me on Twitter as well. But if you're here, why don't you give the video a like, comment, subscribe. Anything you do helps us push this video out to more people, which inevitably helps me teach more people about math. How cool is that? I think it'd really make me happy to just help more educators and help more kids, and we can learn together. I think that'd be super cool. So let's math it up. Okay, I'm gonna try and cruise through this pretty quick. The concepts should have been taught in class. I'm gonna go through them thinking out loud, and then if there's something that you don't understand, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Put a star, an asterisk, a smiley face, a Pokeball, whatever you want. Put it beside that question, and then in class, ask your friend who gets it, ask a friend who doesn't get it, and have a discussion. Ask your teacher. Ask the internet. Ask Siri. Maybe, if you're an iPhone user. Okay. Question number 1. Back to place value. This is place value. Oops, got to put my pen on. Tens. We've done this on every worksheet so far. Question number 2. Place value, tenths. Question 3 and question 4 are going to be rounding. So question 4, or 3, sorry, is we're going to round every number behind the 0, behind the 1's place value. So we are going to look at these two numbers here, and they are numbers 1, so that'll be rounded down to 0, 1, rounded down to 0, which will really just eliminate those all together. So our answer will be 30,900. Question number 4. Where is it? There it is. Question number 4. So every number that comes behind the tens place value will be rounded up or down, or every number at the tens value, like this number itself actually could be rounded up, but it's a 4, so it won't be. Let's look at the 2, and we'll look at the 3. The 2 will be rounded down to 0, the 3 will be rounded down to 0, and the 4 will stay 4. The 4 will stay 4. Yeah, okay. Like questioning myself as I'm doing this. Yes. So our number will be 943,740. Boom. Now we're getting into the division. That's today's new skill, division. It's not a new skill. The first questions are actually more review, and then when we get to question about 9, it starts getting the newer stuff using decimals. So let's go through it pretty quickly here. We want to keep this neat and tidy because, like addition and subtraction, we want to line up our place values nicely. Line them up. So we'll go 8, 1, 1, 2. Does 8 go into 1? No. Does 8 go into 11 one time. We'll do that math. This will be 3. We'll drop down our 2. Let's zoom in a little more for you. Drop down our 2. Does 8 go into 32? It does, and it goes in 4 times. And it goes to exactly 32, leaving us with a remainder of 0. Excuse me. And so for our answer, just like clear this up a little bit. For our answer, we can write equals 14, and we can box our answer because that's important. Question number 6. Question number 6 is going to be similar to question 5 and how it looks. 3-digit divided by 1-digit, all whole numbers. We'll write our 6. 1, 1, 4. And does 6 go into 1? No, it does not. Does 6 go into 11? It does. 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. And this will be a remainder here of 5. Let's drop down our 4. 54. Does 6 go into 54? It does. Sorry, it looks like 59. 54. And it does 9 times if you know your 6 times table or your 9 time table facts. It does. So remainder of 0, our answer. I keep doing that. Maybe I'll like try and write a little smaller. So it's going to be 19 as an answer. Box our answer. Question number 7. 144 and 9. 144 and 9. So let's write our 9. Let's write our 144. And let's write our division, long division symbol here. Does it go, oops, deleted my symbol. Does 9 go into 1? No, it does not. Does 9 go into 14? It does, 1 time. And we have a remainder of 5. Let's drop down our 4. 54. Does 9 go into 54? It does, 6 times for exactly 54, which we can do our subtraction there and it will be 0. So its answer is 16. Box our answer. Move on. Okay, we're cruising along pretty good here. Remember, you can always watch this video again. Watch that question again. And if you really don't get it, ask a teacher, ask a parent. Question number 8. We will write our 8. We will write our division box, 120, and we will go through our steps. Does 8 go into 1? No, it does not. Does 8 go into 12? Yes, it does. 1 time. We'll write our 8. We'll do our subtraction. That is an answer, a remainder after that subtraction of 4. Let's drop down our 0. Does 8 go into 40? Yes, it does. Exactly 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. Exactly. Do that subtraction. It is 0. Our answer is 15. Wonderful. Looking pretty good so far. Let's go to question number 9. Question number 9 is now getting into some decimal questions. So 9, 7.5 divided by 5. Okay. So let's go 5, 7.5. I'm just going to make this a little small, move it down a little bit. And now, because with decimal division, we want to make sure we hold that place value. So wherever our decimal is, we got to write that on top. Now, does 5 go into 7? It does. 1 time. 5. Do our subtraction. Drop down our 5. 25. Now, does 5 go into 25? Of course it does. It goes into 25 5 times, for exactly 25. The remainder of 0. So our answer, because this is why it's important, putting this decimal place where we did is holding that number, because it's not 15, it's 1.5. 5 goes into 7.5, 1.5 times, or 1.5 times, or 1 5/10 times. It's important to realize that's what we've done. So let's write our answer here. We can box it up. It's important that we add our box on there. Just helps as things get messier. Get into that habit. 3 divided by 2. So it's 2 whole numbers, but they're not going to have a whole number answer. In previous grades, you would have had a remainder. And there's going to be a trick here that will be somewhat new to you, perhaps. We're going to use some decimal places here. So does 3 go in? Does 2 go into 3? Of course it does. 1 time. This music just got pretty serious. I'm going to live it. I'm going to keep it there. Trap beats. Okay, does 3 go into 2? Yeah, 1 time. 1 group of 2 within the number 3. And there's a remainder of 1. Now, we can't stop there because we can't just have a remainder of 1. That doesn't make any sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a decimal. We're going to add a decimal here. And then we can write as many zeros behind this decimal as we need to. So let's write that decimal 0. Let's drop that 0 down. And it's going to be 10. Does 2 go into 10? Yes, it does. Exactly 5 times to make 10. Remainder of 0. So this is important. You're lining up your columns here. I'd mentioned that earlier. It's really important that you're doing that. So let's write our answer of 1.5. We can square our answers. Question number 11. So now this question, we're going to go 0.5 divided into the number of 6. So this one is another great example because there's another sort of new technique you can use here. It's really not great to divide a number by a decimal. It's not what you want to do. So we're going to do something to both sides, inside and outside of this division bracket, to inside and outside of this division bracket to make this a little bit easier, to get a whole number as our divisor. So we're going to move this decimal place over as if we've multiplied it by 10. And we're going to also do that in here. And so our question is going to change from 0.5 times 0.6 divided by 0.5 into 560 divided by 0.5. So it's not going to change our answer, but it's going to get rid of that decimal. So once you do that, you can then say, yeah, 5 goes into 6 one time, get a remainder of 1, drop down here, 5 goes into 10 2 times, and that will get you to 10, and when you do that subtraction, you get 0 remainder. So our answer is going to be 12. 6 divided by 0.5, 12. So what they're saying is, if you have 6, how many groups of 0.5 can you make? That's what division is. You're dividing things up into equal groups. You can make exactly 12 groups of 0.5 when you have 6 holes. All right, next one here. So double decimal. Again, we're going to use that same technique here to get rid of the decimal place. We're going to multiply both sides by 10. So let me represent that in a little bit different way this time. Well, let's say multiplied by 10 here, multiplied by 10 here, and we're going to get our new question of 48 divided by 3, right? That's what it would be. And we can represent that in our brackets as 3, 48, and we can just do our regular steps for long division here. Just 3 go into 4. Yes, one time. Get a 3. Let's do our subtraction. 1. Drop down our 8. 18. Does 3 go into 18? Yes, it does. 6 times. 6 times 3 is exactly 18. Remainder 0. So our answer is 16. Box our answer. Move on to our next question. Look how easy that was to divide 4.8 by 0.3 with the techniques provided. All right, a little bit larger number, 2-digit by 2-digit. Gets a little bit more difficult. Let's use the same technique. Let's multiply both sides by 10, right? And then we're gonna get 32 goes into 88. Now, we're going to need to combine some of these techniques. Like we've already done create the technique to create them into whole numbers, but now we need to use the technique of creating some decimal places, which we'll get to in a second. 32 does not go into 8. 32 goes into 88 twice, adding up to 64. Let's do that math. So that will be 4, that will be 2, 24. So now we have to add that decimal place, add our 0, drop down our 0, 240. Does 32 go into 240? And how many times? 32 times 10 is going to be 320. 32 times 8 is going to be, let's see here, 32 times 8. I think that's my estimate here. 32 times 8 is, 32 times 7. Oh, interesting. So we're going to have to use another number. So 7, 32 times 7 is equal to 224. Do that subtraction. Let's do a borrow. 10, so 6, 1, 0. Let's add another 0 here. Let's drop it down. 160. 160. Oops, my screen just went off here. 160. 32 goes into 160. 5 times. And it equals exactly 160. Which will get us to 0. Zeros. So our answer is going to be 2.75. Whew, okay. So if you notice, I use my calculator not to solve the problem, but to help with the math at this section here. Just because I'm being a little bit lazy, and sometimes like you could try numbers and do that multiple. It's important that you know how to do it. It's not important that you stretch super far if you don't want to. I didn't feel like doing that there, so I didn't. No shame. Okay. Question number 14. 3 divided by 2.4. Another slightly different question. So we're going to multiply by 10 to get rid of this decimal place times 10. So it's going to be 24. How many times does 24 go into 30? And you got to assume it's going to be 1 point something, right? So let's go, can't go in there. Just going to shift this. It can't go, 24 does not go into 3, but it will go into 30 one time, 24. Then we're going to write our remainder of 6.0, put the decimal place on top. Really important. When you add a decimal here, you got to add a decimal up here. Make sure you do that. Drop down our 0. 24 and 60. How many times does 24 go into 60? Well, 24 times 2 is going to be 48. Let's put our 2. 48. And do our subtraction there. So that's going to be 12. 24 times. Let's add another 0 and drop that down. Oh, I made a mistake here. That is not 10. It was a remainder of 12. 24 and 120. 24 times 5 is going to equal exactly 120, which will zero us out here. And our answer will be 1.25. Box our answer. Move on to question number 15. Oh my goodness, it's getting longer. Question number 15. Question number 15. Let's multiply each side by 10 to get rid of our decimals. 35. How many times does it go into 91? Just going to move it. I always write it too close and then have to move it. How many times does 35 go into 91? All right, 35 does not go into 9. 35 will go into 91 twice, 2 times, to make 70, leaving a remainder of 21. We're going to have to do our decimal place, write our 0, drop down our 0, 210. 35 goes into 210 6 times. 6 times 35. If 2 times 35 is 70, 4 times 35 will be 140. And 6 times 35 will be 210. It'll go exactly 210. We'll Do our subtraction, leaving zeros. And our answer will be 2.6. Box our answer. Question number. Just going to make this a little smaller. Question number 16. Should I? I'm going to do it. 16. Yeah, okay. Oh, and the beat dropped right after. Hype. All right. Let's do our thing. Times 10. Times 10. And we go 9.8 divided by 2.6. But it's going to be 28. How many groups of 28 can we get from 98? And that will get us to the same numbers, an equivalent ratio of groups. The 28 goes into 98 3 times to make 60, 84. Oops. 3, 84. 28 times 3 is going to be 84. 24 plus 60, yeah, okay. Just doing my mental math there. So 84, that's going to be 4, and that will be 14 remaining. Do our 0, drop down our 0, write our decimal on top. Super important we remember our decimal on top. Now, how many times does 28 go into 140? I'm going to say 5. 5 times. Yeah, so 5 times 8 is 40, and 5 times 2 is 10. Or 5 times 20 is 100. Yeah, so 5. 140 exactly, and that will give us zeros, and our answer is 3.5. Square our answer. Question number 17. Times 10, times 10. 56 goes into 91 how many times? I'm just going to write my 91 a little bit bigger. 91, space out those numbers. 56 will go into 91 one time, 56. And we want to do our borrow. 8, 11, and that is 5 and 3. We're going to have to add our decimal, and we're going to have to add our 0 and bring it down. 56 into 350? Well, 50 goes into 350 7 times. 7 times 6 is 35. So let's try 6 times. 56. Let's go 6. And 6 times 6 is 36. And 6 times 5 is 30. Oops. So 336. Which brings us pretty close, but not quite there. We're going to have to go one more decimal place. So we're going to go 50 minus 36. 50 minus 30 is 20. 20 minus 6 is 14. We're going to add one more 0. Bring that down. 56 goes into 140. 56 goes into 140. 56 times 2 is 112. Twice. 112. Subtract that. Oh, okay. 40 minus 12. 30. 40 minus 10 is 30. 30 minus 28. Let's add another 0 and drop that down. And 280. 56 goes into 280. I'm going to say exactly 5 times. 5 times 6 is 40. Exactly 5 times? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 280. 0, 0, 0. Our answer is going to be 1.625. Oh my gosh, this mental math is getting me here. It's okay. It's okay. This is push-ups for my brain here. Brain ups. Pull-ups. Pull-ups for my brain? I don't know. Pull-ups are harder, I guess. So pull-ups for my brain. 18. That's, yeah, same thing. Times 10. Times 10. And it's going to be 25. Oh, that's a nice number to work with. And 79. Now it's going to go in twice for no. It's going to go in 3 times for 75, leaving us with the remainder of 4. And then we'll do our point. We'll drop down our 0. That's going to go in once. 25. It's going to leave us 15. 25 minus 15. Add our second 0. Drop that down. 150. And that's going to be 4, 5, 6 times. And it'll go exactly into 150. 0, 0, 0. Okay. Equals 3.16. Question 19. Okay. Just going to do this and get rid of, not get rid of, but just make it smaller because I don't want to see it in there. Okay, question 19. We're going to go times 10, times 10, and that will make it 32, goes into 56. 1 time 32. It's going to leave a remainder of 4 and 2, remainder of 24. Our decimal, put our decimals in there, and add our 0. Placeholder, 240. 32 into 240. 32 will go into 320. Half of 320 is 160. 5 times 6 times 7. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 2 is 20. Let's try 7. I don't know if my math is slow here. 7 times 2 is going to be 14. Carry the 1. 7 times 3 is 21. 224. 224. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. Okay. Let's do that subtraction here. So that's going to be 0. Let's go 40 minus 24 is going to be 16. 16, we're going to need another 0. We're going to drop that down. 160 just... That's it. It's 160, 0. Answer is going to equal to 1.75. Okay, last question. Ooh. Okay, so this is an interesting one here. We're going to multiply by 10 and by 10, because I don't care if my divisor dividend, if our dividend, the number we are breaking up into groups, is less than 1, is still a decimal, doesn't bother me, doesn't matter. The divisor, the 1.5, that's helpful when it's a whole number. So we're going to go 15 and 6.3. Now remember, when you have a decimal as a dividend, you line up the decimal on top. Line it up on top. So we're going to go, does 15 go into 6? No, it does not. Does 15 go into 63? Yes, 4 times. And it goes to exactly 60, leaving us with 3. Drop down the 0. 15. I was saying 16 before, but 15. 15 goes into 63 4 times to make 60. 15 goes into 30 2 times to make exactly 30. Our answer is 0.42. We made it. Finish the worksheet. Oh. Hype. Okay. That's it. At this point, you're going to go look over your worksheet. You're going to make sure you're showing your notes. You're going to make sure your name is on here. Blah, 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 blah. The date is on there. You're going to have it ready. We're going to go and look at our answers. We're going to say, hey, question 1 is 10s. And we're going to put our check marks on there. So when you show this to your teacher, they're going to see that not only do you have your answers boxed, you have them check marked to show that you even checked your answers too. Remember, we have a YouTube channel, Let's Game Den. Sorry, GB Gaming. Check us out. We're going to start streaming again soon. We have a Insta. We're going to be posting some more stuff on there, and we have a Discord. Our Discord is Let's Game Den, and that is a growing community of students. And come check us out. Until then, make sure you keep on keeping on mathin' it up.